So I have a series of 3 hacks for people who have balance problems that are coming from proprioception. So remember, proprioception is that ability to really feel how you're moving because of sensory receptors in your body. And you have the highest density of these receptors in your feet, in your SI joints, which are this part of your like kind of glute area. So at the base of your spine is your sacrum. It's like this triangle-shaped bone. Your SI joints are these 2 joints. The reason those joints have so much proprioceptors is because when you walk, your SI joints get a lot of movement. And the other place you have a density of proprioceptors is in your cervical spine. So the very top part of your spine, which is at your neck, and that gives you a lot of feedback because you turn your head when you're moving. So the way I work with people and try to figure out what their proprioceptive deficits are is I do the Romberg's test. I'm just going to do it again so I'll sort of show you. And then I would go through these 3 different exercises. In general, one of them is going to work for the person more than the other ones do, but sometimes each one can kind of clean up somebody's proprioceptive balance. So you'd stand doing your Romberg's test, and you see like how's your postural sway, and you would not do that if you have like really bad balance and you sway a lot. Make sure you're near a wall or something that you can hold onto or have a friend there. The first thing I'm going to do is use a ball to turn on the proprioceptors. So this is just a spiky ball. If you Googled spiky ball, I'm sure you could find it. So what you do is you just kind of rub your foot on the spiky ball. So I'm just rubbing my foot, and I would do, not terribly long, 20 seconds. You can do this seated, by the way, if standing on one foot doesn't work out for you on that particular day or ever. So you'd rub your feet on the spiky ball, come back, recheck. So sometimes what you'll find is it actually makes it worse. I don't think that actually is indicative of actually making your proprioception worse. I think it's more that sometimes what we need to do is we need to kind of shake off whatever that thing was for like 20 seconds or something before we come back to it. Next one I'm going to show you is working on the SI joints with 2 balls. So the next way to stimulate your proprioceptors is to use 2 different balls. So these, I would say tennis balls work. These are yoga tune-up balls. They're like a fascial ball, which I kind of like. I use them for different things. They feel nice on your back. But they're, if you bounce them, they're like pretty bouncy. You could find them in dog toys. You don't need to like spend a lot of money or do anything special. You could, like I said, use tennis balls. Lacrosse balls might hurt a little bit, so you don't want it to hurt. It should ideally feel good. I would put a mat down, but I'm going to be lazy right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down on the floor and I'm going to place these balls right at my SI joints. So that would be again at your sacrum, which is this triangle-shaped bone at the base of your spine. You're going to have 2, I always call them like, you have kind of your butt dimples on your low back. We're just going to place them right there. So first I'm just going to kind of like sit on them, which feels actually kind of nice in and of itself. And then I'm going to let my legs go straight, and I'm just going to windshield wiper my legs a little bit from side to side. So this windshield wipering kind of scenario is basically getting the balls to push up into the SI joints. And I'm going to do it for, maybe a minute, and then I'll place these to the side, come back up to standing, and then I always say you want to kind of shake it off because it is kind of a little weird feeling. And then also, if you get a head rush when you come up to standing, then you're going to stand again with your feet together, reach your arms forward, close your eyes, and see how that improved that postural sway. And then the last one we're going to do is stimulate the cervical spine. So in general, I would say use a towel, but I never have a towel with me, and I always have some sort of a hoodie or a sweatshirt. So if you have a hoodie or a sweatshirt, you just take it off. You're gonna take the sleeve and you're gonna bring it behind your neck, and then you're just gonna rub kind of fast, side to side, sort of thinking about like what you would do if you got out of the shower and you were trying to dry your back. And then you kind of make sure you go up and down the whole length of your cervical spine, which ends, by the way, with this like one vertebra that really sticks out. It's kind of like a hump, like right at the base of your neck. That's C7, so that's the bottom of your cervical spine. So then, again, you would stand with your legs together, close your eyes, and see where your postural sway is. But those are all really great ways to do a quick improve your proprioceptive balance. There's actually someone in this workshop who had seen me do the neck one on an Instagram post before, and she said that it improves her balance so much that she just makes sure she has something to do it while she's kind of out and about walking along, so she can literally stop, rub her neck, and then all of a sudden her balance will be better. Like I said, it doesn't stick, it's not a permanent fix, but it is a good way to get your balance to be better quickly, even if it's just for a short period of time. Another great product that you can use to improve your proprioception, especially if you find that stimulating your feet is something that works really well for you, is a product that I really like called a Nibosu mat or Nibosu insoles. The Nibosu texture was actually created by a podiatrist, and it actually is designed to stimulate your proprioceptors. What's great is if you have the insoles, they kind of live in your shoes, so you can be stimulating your proprioceptors and improving your proprioceptive balance the entire time that you're walking. A lot of times when people have poor balance, they end up making a shoe choice which isn't doing them any favors. And that's wearing a shoe that has a really thick, soft sole. When you have something that is soft and squishy, it actually puts more demand on your ankle stabilizers. So your ankle stabilizers are going to have to work harder, and your proprioceptors can't feel the floor as well. So I recommend barefoot shoes, meaning like the brands like Nike Free, lots of other brands that are very lightweight shoes and have very thin and flexible soles will actually improve your balance considerably. Avoid those really squishy shoes, which tend to make your balance worse.
And I've gone to physical therapy for the vertigo stuff, but that's the one thing I really, and I'll find if I can just stare at like a spot, if I could stare at a spot on the wall to kind of get my bearing, or just try to, usually it's like anxiety too can contribute to it. So getting massages can help release the tension, because a lot of times it's up here. If you have a lot of tension in here or in your shoulders, it's going to pull on these inner ear stuff, and it's going to make the.
I mean, this sounds really weird, but when I am stumbling, I run my tongue along the front of my teeth and think, I quite like them.